KA Bullets YouTube channel.
Hurry up, now tell us why you're here.
Before we get started with the race, let's talk about the rookies, being Ken Schrader, Ruby Easy Oaks, Dale Carrett, Mark Carton, Phil Pitstops, Michael Cartrip, Terry Carboni, Owen Drivewell, and Will Draftrev. By the way, Ken Schrader will get pole position for his very first race and lead for the first 3 laps, but then he'll lose the lead to Bill Racelot on lap 3. 4 laps later, Mike Yankee will take the lead from him, but only 2 laps later, on lap 9, Hall Ingus will take the lead from him. He'll lead for the next 4 laps before Larry Smith will take the lead from him and lead for the next 6 laps. And after, of course, Don Chapcar will take the lead on lap 19 and lead for the next 7 laps. Cale Yarborough will lead from lap 26 to 31 for a total of 5 laps. But then, Clint Shiftwright will take the lead from him and only lead to lap 34, where Murray Clutchburn will take the lead from him. 2 laps later, Daryl Cartrip will take the lead from him. But only on lap 37, a lap later, Matthew Fuelup-Wheel will take the lead from him. And he'll lead all the way to lap 40. But now, Matthew Fuelup-Wheel is out next race because Dale Earnhardt punted him out of the way and he'll lead for the next 13 laps. But then, the King will take the lead from Dale Earnhardt and lead all the way to lap 60. WJ Lights will take the lead from him and lead for the next 4 laps. But after that, Kyle Traxon will take the lead for the next 5 laps. And he'll lose the lead to Jonathan Melter, who will lead until lap 74 for a total of 4 laps. But then afterwards, Davey Carlson will lead for the next 4 laps. And of course, Hall Ingus will retake the lead and lead for the next 9 laps. But then he'll lose the lead to Don Chapcar, who will lead until lap 95. After lap 95, Craig Shiftwright will take the lead from him and lead for the next 7 laps. But then, Alloy Wilson will take the lead from him, but only lead until lap 103, just 1 lap. The King will take the lead from Alloy Wilson and lead for the next 2 laps. But then, Bill Racelot will take the lead from him and lead for the next 5 laps. But then, Cole Speedman will take the lead from him, but only lead for a bit of lap 111. Over the finish line, over the finish line, but then Ben Pitstops will take the lead and lead for the next 2 laps. Chick Hicks is 6th as of lap 113, where he'll crash Murray Clutchburn, Mike Yankee, Alex Quint, Eugene Karbareski, and Sammy Smelter. But Sammy Smelter spills oil, which is gross! And then Krusty Rotor slips on it, and he's out as well. Larry Smith will take the lead after Benny Pitstops loses it, and he'll lead for a total of 4 laps before WJ Lights will retake the lead. He'll lead for the next 5 laps, but then he'll lose the lead to Davey Carlson, who leads for 23 laps? How do you lead for that long, Davey Carlson? But then he'll crash Andrew Axler, who will be out on lap 131. The car that will take the lead from Davey Carlson is Rusty Wheelhouse, who will lead to lap 151. The King will take the lead from him and lead for the next 5 laps. And then he'll lose to lead to, of course, Dale Earnhardt, who will lead all the way until lap 168. Larry Smith will take the lead from Dale Earnhardt, but then Dale Earnhardt just crashes Larry Smith, and then Dale Earnhardt retakes the lead all the way until lap 196. But on lap 196, Billy Oilchanger will get a lucky pass and lead for the next 3 laps. But then he'll lose that to Alan Karwicki, who will take the lead for the next 5 laps from lap 200 to 205. Strip Weathers will retake the lead after this and lead for the next 3 laps. Then Don Chapcar will take the lead once more and lead for 3 laps. And suddenly, James Robson will come into the lead for the next 2 laps. And on lap 213, he'll lose the lead to Alloy Wilson, who will lead for the next 3 laps as well. But then, Clint Shiftwright will take the lead on lap 216 and lead for the next 5 laps. Rusty Wheelhouse is back in the lead on lap 221 and lead for the next 6 laps. Ken Schrader has returned to the lead and will lead for the next 2 laps. And surprisingly, he'll lose the lead to Taylor Bendy, who will lead for the next 4 laps. His friend, Don Chapcar, will retake the lead from him on lap 234. 3 laps later, Axel McDrift will take the lead all the way until lap 244. Then Neil Brackett will take the lead from him for 2 laps. After the 2 laps are over, Daryl Cartrip will retake the lead and lead for the next 9 laps. But then of course, Dale Earnhardt will come back to the lead and lead to lap 262. After that's over, James Clean Air will take the lead. But then, less than a lap later, Bill Racelot will take the lead and lead all the way to lap 271 for a total of 8 laps. Chick Hicks will take the lead for the next 5 laps after this. But then Davey Carlson will come back and lead all the way to lap 292. That's another long stretch of laps led by Davey Carlson. But then Cole Speedland will lead for about half a lap before Hall Ingus will take the lead from him and lead all the way to lap 304 for a total of 11 laps. The King will take the lead for the next 9 laps, but then Cale Yarborough will take the lead from him for a total of 2 laps. And afterwards, the rookie Dale Carrett will take the lead all the way until lap 322, where then he'll lose it to Kyle Traxon, who will lead to lap 324 for a total of 2 laps. But then Chick Hicks wrecks Kyle Traxon on lap 224. Well, of course, Kyle Traxon's now out for 5 races, in fact. And Clint Shipwright's also out. Neil Brackett, Alloy Wilson, and Claude Scruggs, and also Rush Kerber are all out. Chick Hicks says this to Kyle Traxon, calling him a spoiled loser. Kyle Traxon replies with this to Chick Hicks after hearing it. Chick Hicks will take the lead from Kyle Traxon, but then lose the lead on lap 335 to Jonathan Melcher. On lap 337, only 2 laps later, good old David Carlson will take the lead all the way to lap 379. But then, Benny Pitstops will take the lead to lap 383. But then he'll lose it to Dale Earnhardt, who will lead all the way to lap 397. James Robson will lead for only a lap and a half before Matthew Fuelup-Wheel will take the lead from him and lead to lap 403. On lap 403, Bill Racelot will take the lead and lead for 17 laps before Hall Ingus will retake the lead on lap 420 and lead for just 7 laps. But then, the King will return to the lead on lap 427. 8 laps later, he'll lose the lead to Craig Shiftright, who will only lead for, he actually leads for 9 laps. But well, he'll lose it to WJ Lights, who will lead for the next 3 laps. But then, the rookie Dale Carrett will retake the lead on lap 447 and lead for the next 2 laps. On lap 447, Misty Motocross is out due to an engine failure, and Bill Racelot will take the lead on lap 450 and lead for the next 4 laps. Tom Landis gets lucky and he'll lead for the next 6 laps before Cale Yarborough will take the lead from him and lead for the next 6 laps after Tom Landis' 6 laps. Rusty Wheelhouse is 23rd at lap 464 and he'll crash Ernie Gearson, Kenny Shiftright before the King will retake the lead on lap 466. But then, on lap 479, Dale Earnhardt will retake the lead and lead for a total of 4 laps. But then, his rival, Don Chapcar, will lead all the way until lap 495. But then, Davey Carlson will speed up and he'll win the Florida 500 in the year 1988, whilst being half the track ahead of everyone else. The King came second in this race, being the closest to him, well, just slightly ahead of Phil Pitstops, who surprisingly comes 3rd this race, despite not leading a lap. In 4th place is another rookie being Terry Carboni. But then, in 5th place will be the pole setter, Ken Schrader, who will still come 5th in this race. Here is a simple chart of the top 20 this race. I'll only be showing these kinds of charts for mid-season race results, not at the end of the season. The old blue and yellow chart will still be used. Sadly, that one doesn't have points. But what's surprising is that Buddy Breaker came 9th this race. Wow! And he hasn't even led a single lap. And what's even crazier is that he came ahead of Dale Earnhardt. Judging by some of these places, you're probably going to guess there's going to be a lot of changes. Well, during the 1988 Piston Cup season, there's going to be a lot of changes from 1987.
Remember to press the notifications button, which goes ring, ring, ring after you press it. And lightning strikes back, and that's as if you subscribed, of course. And thank you for watching this entire video.
I got this chipmunk to do the outro because of the fact that my videos are getting longer and longer, and that means I have to cut unnecessary time out of the video. That means less time for the intro and outro, and more time for actual content. And next week, the next part of the 1988 Piston Cup season should be out. And judging from events earlier in the race, you could probably judge that Chick Hicks and Kyle Traxton are now rivals, and you'd be right.